Hey, Believe Nation, David Imonitie here. Super excited to be back with each and every one of you. What an amazing 2021 it's been so far. I believe it's our second time actually going live this year, and we're expecting this year to be a year of acceleration. Goals, dreams that you thought were going to happen 2, 3 years from now, they're all going to happen this year, 2021. So really excited to be here with you guys, and we've got an incredible topic we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about love and forgiveness, and I'm really excited about it. But I got to talk about the event that's coming up. We've got the event of all events. The I Believe Experience is going to be happening July the 16th, 17th, and 18th. This is a 3-day event. It is going to be off the chain, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm excited about it. You know, I know Houston, it was like end of days here last week. I know a lot of people just went through a tough time with the ice storm that actually took place here in Texas. And so what we decided to do was actually extend the early bird pricing that we have for this event. We extended it to March 1st. So you can still take advantage of that right now. You can take advantage of the $597 price, which is just ridiculous. That was really the event special that we gave people that actually came to the event, or people that watched the live stream, the very first I Believe Experience. But now we're actually making it available till March the 1st. So take advantage of that. And then we're going to go into early bird pricing for the event, and we'll reveal that to you on March the 2nd. Okay, we'll let you guys know about that. Now, I'll also be going live again on March the 4th. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you that know me, or you've been following Believe Nation, been following my work, you know that my goal in life is to positively impact the lives of 1 billion people. And when I wrote that goal down, when I wrote that statement, that mission statement for my life back in 2013, I really wasn't sure how it was going to happen. I wasn't sure if it was going to be through social media. I didn't know if it was going to be through TV. I didn't know it was going to be through live events. I knew it would be a combination of all of it, but I didn't know exactly how it was going to come into fruition. I didn't even know anything about Believe Nation at that time. But that's the beautiful part about writing goals down, is that when you actually set your intention for something, when you actually set your mind on something, then your mind goes out and seeks out different opportunities, the right people, the right situations to get you to where it is that you want to go. And obviously this is a huge goal, and it's all about me staying in communication with you, really teaching you really how to take your belief system and grow it to the highest of highest levels that allows you to go out and accomplish your goals and your dreams. So it's all about communication. We have BelieveNation.com. You can go there right now and actually register to be a part of Believe Nation. But now we've added another incredible way for us to stay in contact, which is through my phone, okay? Through my cell phone, you can actually text me there. I'll be responding back to you. I'll be sending messages to you as well, keeping you updated on everything that's happening in Believe Nation. So you see the number right there, 832, you slide out the way real quick, 832-219-8157, okay? So make sure you send me a text, and we'll make sure we're in communication with you so you're updated on everything that's going on. Now, on March the 4th, I'm going to be making the very first announcement, okay? I'll be making the very first announcement as to who else is going to be at the I Believe Experience. We're putting together an incredible cast of leaders, world-class leaders that have accomplished great things in life. They're actually going to be at this event as well. So I'll be releasing who the first person is, all right? And over the next coming weeks and months, I'll let you know who else is actually going to be there as well. So yes, I will be there. I know you're excited about that. But we also have some other world-class leaders that will be sharing on how you can take your belief system and actually grow it in all different areas of your life. Because we know that success is not just about money, right? Success is really about your entire life. You know, your family, the relationships that you have, your health, right? It's really big right now. After everything we've actually gone through in this world, I think a lot of people now are waking up to the realization that their health is more important than anything else. So we're going to talk about that too. And also, obviously, your finances, right? You can't really truly be happy if your finances are not really in order. Okay, now it doesn't mean that you have to be a multimillionaire. That's completely up to you. That's your goals and your dreams, and you can decide that, and we can show you how you can get there as well. All right, so go ahead and text me now. All right, go ahead and text me. My phone's on silent, so I won't hear it. But go ahead and send me a text, and we'll definitely stay in communication with you that way. All right, now let's go ahead and jump right into today's topic. I've been looking forward to this. I really have, because this is a topic that is a little bit different, right? I always talk about believing, and those of you that know the definition of believe, right? L-I-E-V-E. That last word that's separate from be actually means to be loved by God. So when you're in a state of belief, when you're in a state of believing, what you're really affirming is, I'm in a state where I'm loved by God. That was really the genesis of how all this really began for me. And this is why I'm so passionate about teaching belief, because I know that when you're in a state of doubt, when you're in a state of worry and depression, it's probably some of the worst times in your life. But if there's some tools or techniques or strategies that I can share with you that can pull you out of that darkness, that can pull you out of that doubt, pull you out of that worry, of that depression, to where now you can see life from a place of possibilities, and you can kind of have that sky, that high-rise view on your life, where you don't look at life situations and allow it to just say, you know what, tear you down, right? If I could help you do that, that's really what my life is really all about. That's what impacting 1 billion people is all about. So if I can make a difference in your life, guess what? You can pay it forward and make a difference in someone else's life as well. But this topic today, what if I told you that your belief system, your ability to have faith for anything, really hinged on these two elements that we're going to talk about today? What if I told you that? What if and guys, I'll be honest with you, this is probably one of those calls where you're going to have to look in the mirror, right? That you're really going to have to do a self-assessment and say, am I really walking in love? Am I really walking in forgiveness? All right? You're really going to have to do a self-assessment. And I did that over the last couple of days. I looked and said, okay, David, where are some places that you can actually make some improvements when it comes to this place of walking in love and a place of walking in forgiveness? Because it's really challenging, right? I'm sure you've probably realized that, right? There's some people that maybe you thought you loved, and maybe a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, you said, maybe I wasn't in love with them, right? Or maybe I didn't love them. Or maybe some people you thought you forgave, right? I know I've been through that, where I forgave that person, but I still talk about that situation. And it still bothers me. Did I really forgive them if it still bothers me, right? So we're going to dive into that so you can really understand what it's all about. Now, what is love? Before I give you the definition of what I say love is, let's see what the dictionary says what love is. Love, they say that love is a deep affection. It's a deep feeling that you have. Hogwash, okay? Love is not a feeling. All right, now you may differ with that, or you may think that's not true. It's not, okay? Love is not a feeling, because love is not something. Some people say, well, have you ever heard this before? Well, I love them, but I'm not in love with them. Have you heard that before? I've heard that before, right? I love you, but I'm not in love with you, right? Hogwash. There is no such thing as being in love with someone, right? Because if you're in love with them, what you're basically saying is, I can fall out of love, all right? And that's not really how love works. Not the real kind of love that we're commanded to have, all right? Now, understand that this is a commandment. This is not something that was said that we should do or we would like to do. And I would really like to love people. No, this is a commandment. And it actually says that this commandment supersedes all others, all right? The commandment of loving God and loving people, right? It supersedes all other commandments that are out there, all right? So you got to really, remember, I tell you, got to get that mirror out now and kind of look at yourself. Don't look at anybody else, all right? Because a lot of times when you get information like this, you start to judge. You start to judge other people in your life. No, don't judge anybody else. Do a self-assessment on you, looking at your life, and say, on a daily basis, am I walking in love? Am I walking in forgiveness? And not just forgiveness of other people, but forgiveness to yourself. right? Because not forgiving yourself is really where you're walking in a state of guilt. You're walking in a state of shame, all right? And guilt and shame, ladies and gentlemen, do not allow you to really go out there and really create the life that you want. I want you to write this down. This is very important. Love is the greatest creative state you could ever be in, all right? Love is the greatest creative state you could ever be in, all right? That's what really love is. Love puts you in a position where you can create. Now, how do I know that? Well, let's talk about what I believe the true definition of love is. Now, when I go through all of this, you're going to say, wow, okay? Some of you probably know it, some of you probably don't, all right? But let's look at it. The first one, it says love is patient, all right? So I want you to do a self-assessment and say, how patient am I? Right? I can raise my hand right now. I can tell you there's some places where patience is really, really, like, I don't like waiting in line. Like I don't like being on hold. I don't like waiting in line. I just don't like it. Any place that I have to go where I've got to wait, no. I rather pay whatever it is I got to pay to shoot in front of the line. All right. So that's something trivial, but in life, when you look at your relationships, how patient are you with the people that are in your life? I mean, we could stop there. We could talk about this for the rest of the call, right? Love is patient. So when you say, "Hey, when you say I love someone," right? The next question should be, how patient are you with them? All right? How patient do they get under your skin? How quickly can they get under your skin? Where you're like, "All right, listen, you got to go," or you say, "Well, I got to go," right? So love is patient, right? So you gotta really assess that, all right? Love is patient. Now, before I go into the next one, I want you to know this, and I want you to write this down. Love is not a feeling. Love is actually an act, all right? Love is a verb. It's an action, all right? That's what it is. And that action, ladies and gentlemen, the proof of love is giving, all right? The proof of love is giving. That's why it says, for God so loved the world that he gave. That is the true definition. That is the true proof that love exists. So on a daily basis, ask yourself, how much am I giving? How much am I giving to the people that are in my life? How much am I giving to the people that are not in my life? Right? How much are you giving on social media? How much are you giving on your job? How much are you giving in your business? As a leader, how much are you giving to your organization? I'm going to talk about the 5 love languages. And I know the 5 love languages, usually it's taught between a man and a woman, which is great. But also, you can actually utilize the 5 love languages in building your organization as a leader. Okay? You can actually utilize it. And I'll show you how you can actually do that. All right? So love is a verb. Love is an action. So before you say you love, right? Before you say, well, I'm walking in love, you got to ask yourself, how much are you giving of yourself? What is the sacrifices that you're giving every single day to those that you say you love? All right? So love is patient. All right? Next one, I believe it says love is kind. So if you notice, patience is an act. Being kind is an act. All right? Not being envious. So love does not envy. Love does not boast. Love is not proud. All right? So if you notice, all these things, these are actions that are being done. These are not feelings, ladies and gentlemen. These are actions. All right? These are actions that are actually happening right now. All right? So every single day, you've got to assess and say, okay, how much kindness am I showing? When I go to a restaurant, right? Am I showing kindness to the host? Am I showing kindness to the waiter or the waitress? Am I showing kindness to the manager? If you park your car at the valet, do you show kindness to the people that park your car? All right. In what way on a daily basis can I show kindness? Can I show love? Can I give the act of love? All right. Love does not envy. So on a daily basis, who can I celebrate? Who can I encourage? Who can I promote? Right? Other than yourself, right? All right, love does not boast. Who can I celebrate? I'm not going to celebrate myself, but who can I celebrate? Who can I uplift? Who can I encourage? All right? See, it says pride comes before the fall. All right? So how do you know when you're walking in pride? Well, a fall is coming. Okay? That's how you know. All right? So you got to say, okay, all these actions, all right? How can I do this on a daily basis? Now, when I give you the full definition of what love is, you're going to understand that this is a journey. There's nobody, including me, that has mastered this. All right? But doesn't mean because we haven't mastered it, doesn't mean that we can't start working on it on a daily basis. It doesn't mean that you haven't made mistakes in the past. It doesn't mean that you haven't had challenges in the past when it comes to love and relationships and all that good stuff. Everybody has. But when you look at the true definition of it, all right, keep going. Go through the next slide here. All right, you're going to see when I understood this, then I said, okay, now this is very, very important. Love does not dishonor others, is not self-seeking. After all that, reading it, let me tell you what love is. Love is God. So I want you to really get that. So what I'm basically saying, or what we're saying to each other right now, is in order to walk in love, what we're really doing is we're actually walking as gods. All right? Because love is God. So every single day as you go out and you express kindness, every single day as you go out and you express being patient, and you celebrate others and you uplift others and you're giving, right? What you're doing is you're acting as God on earth. Because what you're doing is you're actually moving and walking in love. Now, this is something you can wake up every single day and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do today to show love. This is what I'm going to do today to show love to my spouse. This is what I'm going to do today to show love to my parents. This is what I'm going to do to show love to my kids. This is what I'm going to do to show love to the people that I work with. Every single day, you can make that decision. Say, okay, you know what? All right, I'm going to actually walk in love today. I'm actually going to do what God does. Now, this is what I just asked us to do. I just said be God. All right? That's not easy. Right? But we are created in His image, right? So that means that we can be like Him, right? We can see things the way that He sees things. Because He doesn't see us as we are right now. He sees us better than we are right now. All right? And there's two things that God does for us every single day. Two things. I want you to write this down. Two things that He does for us every single day. Number one, He loves us every single day. And number two is that He forgives us every single day. Those are the two things that He does. That's why these two elements are so powerful. Imagine if you can do this every single day, when you show love every single day and you forgive every single day. Because guess what? You make offenses given all the time. Offenses given all the time. And you say, well, how does this have anything to do with me being able to create? How does this have anything to do with me being able to, take my belief system to a whole nother level? Well, because you see where it says love is not easily angered. When you move out of love, ladies and gentlemen, you're now operating in what? Anger. You're now operating in hate. That particular state, ladies and gentlemen, does not allow you to create. All right? It does not allow you to create the life that you want. Because now your thoughts are occupied by things that have nothing to do with why you were put on this earth. You were put on this earth not just for you, ladies and gentlemen. You were really put on this earth to make a difference in the lives of other people. But if you're so easily angered, if you're not patient, if you're not showing kindness, you can't make a difference in someone else's life. And it's really the small things. I used to hear, it's the small things. It's the small things that really matter. But those small things, and the word small, all is in there. That's probably the biggest thing that you can actually do. There's small things that God does for us that we don't even pay attention to on a daily basis that allows us to keep breathing. We don't even understand how it all works. All right? But because He's walking in love every single day, because He is forgiving us every single day, and this is what we can do. Now, this is a big one right here. Love keeps no record of wrongs. Woo! That's a tough one. Because You know, women, I'm just gonna come for y'all right now. Y'all have the memory of an elephant, right? Like you can remember what he did in 1989. You can remember exactly what he was wearing. You can remember what you were wearing, what he said, how he said it. But look, it says love keeps no record. But guess what? Some men, we do that too. We got a record. We got a notebook in our back pocket, and as soon as something goes wrong, boom, we pull it out. Right? We keep a wrong record of what happened with our parents. Well, my parents didn't do this when I was a child, and my parents didn't do that when I was a child. And then what you're doing is you're really looking for an excuse to act out. That's really what it is. You keep a record of wrongs, so now you have a trump card. No pun intended. Right? You have a way of saying, okay, well, I can do that because guess what? You did this. Does that make sense? And guys, this is not just in relationships between a man and a woman. This is also in leadership. This is also as you're building your business. Because there's going to be challenges. There's going to be situations that happen between you and another leader. How quickly do you move into forgiveness? How quickly do you move into love? It's hard, especially if they do it over and over again, right? Especially if you see them do it to other people over and over and over again, right? It says love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Can you see how when you say, well, you can agree with me when I say love is not it's not an intense feeling of no, man. This is serious. This is God. He does not delight in evil. Rejoices in the truth. These are all action steps that you've got to take every single day in order to walk in love. But as we get closer and closer and closer, and we take those steps every single day, what we're doing is we're moving closer to God. And as we move closer to God, it gives us more power. It gives us more ability to go out and create the life that we really, really want. So it does have everything to do with our belief system, right? The word belief, L-I-E-F actually means to be happy, to be glad. Well, it's kind of hard to be glad and happy, right? If you're easily angered. It's kind of hard to be happy and glad if you're not showing kindness, right? Love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Listen, before you say you love somebody, really look at this definition here. Really look at it, study it, make sure before you go out, I love you. No, you going to protect me all the time? You going to trust all the time? You going to hope all the time? You going to persevere all the time? You want to look up the definition of persevere? You really want to look at the definition of persevere? It's to long endure, right? So we got to really, that's why I say this is God. This is what God does. Think about all the things that we've done collectively as humanity. Right now, look at what's going on in this world. And God still loves. God still protects. God still trusts. Even with all the nonsense that we've done over the past 10,000 years. Okay? And look at this right here. It says 3 things will last forever. Your faith, right? Hope and love. But out of these 3, the greatest of these 3 is love. That's why we've got to walk towards it every single day. Yes, you're looking in the mirror right now and you're probably saying, man, I probably missed it a few times. I probably didn't show patience there. I probably wasn't as kind as I could possibly be. Or maybe I've kept, the wrongdoing of other people. Maybe I haven't really honored. Maybe I gossiped. Maybe I talked about someone. Or maybe I listened to the gossip. That's rejoicing in evil. Right? Maybe I didn't cover someone. Right? So that's why you got to kind of do a self-assessment and say, okay, am I really walking in love? Am I really walking in God? All right, now this is not a time for you to beat up on yourself, but it is a time to really have a self-assessment and say, okay, where can I get better on a daily basis? How can I show more kindness? All right? How can I, give people grace? My good friend Angela, she always laughs at me. She's like, man, you just give folk grace all the time. And the reason why, I said, the reason why I do is because I understand the amount of grace that God has given me. So who am I? Who am I not to give grace to people when I know how much grace God has actually given me? All right. So that's it. This is a challenging call, right? This is really, it's tough. Kind of like your exes. Remember your exes? Love is really about your two exes. Dave, what are you talking about? I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about your two exes. Love is to be experienced. All right? See, you experience the love of God. You experience love. And as parents, that's one of the things that we must do is to give, right? Give that experience of love, because it's hard to express, because that's the second thing. Love is to be expressed. It's hard to express. Love is an expression. It's an action, right? It's hard to express it when you haven't experienced it. Does that make sense? It's hard to express something. It's hard to show something that you haven't experienced. But that's why we can go back and say, okay, I'm not going to hold my parents. I'm not going to hold my siblings. I'm not going to hold society responsible for this, because I have experienced love, because it says, for God so loved the world that he gave. The ultimate gift that you can give to someone when you say you love them is your life. Right? So when you say I love someone, what you're basically saying is, hey, I'm willing to die for you. All right? I'm willing to die for you. And that death doesn't necessarily mean a physical death, right? It also means I'm willing to take a step back for you. I'm willing to allow you to be out front. I'm willing to allow you to shine. I'm willing to be less for you. All right? And when I say less, I don't mean that you're less than that person, right? All right? So every single day, we've got to now start to experience love and then express it. And what happens is, every time we express it, what we're doing is we're just calling more experiences for ourselves. Every time you express love to someone, what you're basically doing, you're sowing in order to reap the experience. When you sow an expression of love, expression of kindness, expression of being patient, right? Expression of good, giving to someone, what you're doing is you're sowing an experience back into your life. Okay? So love is a seed that we can plant every single day. All right? Love is a seed that we can plant every single day. Let's look at the 5 love languages, right? And like I told you, these love languages, it's usually taught in the area of husband and wife, right? Which is perfect. But even in building your business and even in relationships, right, with your family, right, even in relationships in your organization as a leader, ask yourself, how often do I give words of affirmation to my organization? How often do I affirm the leaders that I'm working with? Right? Because what happens is the words of affirmation, what it does is it plants the seed of trust. That's what it does. The words of affirmation says, you know what? I believe in you. I trust that you're going to get there, and that's why I would give words of affirmations. Obviously, in a relationship between a man and woman, right? You got to know, okay, is this what my spouse really needs? The words of affirmation. Now, some people will say, well, I really don't need all 5. I just really need 2, right? I just need 2, maybe 3. Hogwash. We need all 5, right? And we need to know, and you need to know when to do the 5, right? You need to know when to do which one, how to do it, right? Let's be honest now. So, but it's all giving. If you pay attention, acts of service is giving. Words of affirmation is giving. Quality time is what? It's giving. How much time are you spending with your leaders? Right? Those conversations, that mentor-mentee conversations, that phone call that you need to make, that sit down that you need to make, that trip that you need to make to spend that quality time to grow that relationship. Acts of service. As a leader, the true definition of a leader is that you're the one that serves the most. You're the one that actually serves the most. You're not the one just waiting to be served all the time. You're the one looking to how can I serve? How can I help? How can I grow? How can I help? How can I encourage? Okay? We got receiving gifts. It can be just gifts, not just receiving. It's receiving or giving, right? Right? Do you gift your organization? Right? Recognition. Recognition is one of the, it's probably top 3 ways to grow your business is through recognition. Right? Giving that pin or giving that plaque or giving that certificate. Right? I mean, listen, guys, for years, I would do this all the time. I mean, now at this point, the organization's so big, we have leaders that actually do that. But, we do trips. And, one time we took some leaders out to the Bahamas, paid for their flight and their hotel. Right? So are you giving gifts to your organization? Right? Little promotions that you can run. See, these 5 love languages, you can actually utilize it to grow your business. Right? Because when I break down the acronym of leader, all right, when I break it down, the L stands for love. That's what it stands for. It stands for love. It's love, and then it's expectation, right, which is vision, and then it's action, it's discipline, right? It's experience, and then results. But it starts with love. As a leader, you have to have the ability to love people. They're going to know. They're going to know. The time that you spend with them. Okay? The physical touch. Hey, maybe it's a high five. Right? Maybe it's a hug. Right? All that's important as you're growing your organization. All right? So guys, because people follow you, right? They follow you because they like you. That's one of the reasons why people follow you. Right? And if they can feel that love, if they can feel that kindness, if they can feel that patience, you got to be patient with your group. Guys, you got to be patient with them. They may not get it as fast as you got it. They may not go diamond right away. They may not go chairman right away. They may not go jade or, whatever it is. They may not, become a real estate tycoon right away. They may be starting their business right now. You're helping them start their business. Maybe it takes them a year or 3 years or 5 years. It took me 6 years. From the time I started at 21, I didn't earn my first million. I started in 2004. I didn't earn my first million in a calendar year until 2011. Right? So guess what? My coaches and mentors and people, they had to be patient with me. All right? So what we're talking about here is it not just works in your family, in your relationships, it works in your finances. It also works with your body as well. Right? You know why a lot of times people quit on that diet? You know why a lot of times people quit on that workout regimen? It's because they're not patient. They're not patient. Because you want to see the results right now. Now I worked out for a week. Where are my abs? I've been trying to get the 6-pack for 5 years. My dad warned me. He said, David, drinking all that juice. This is before I turned 30. He said, David, after 30, it gets a little hard. I'm like, yeah, whatever, Dad. He wasn't lying. Right? But patience. You're keeping, a record of wrongdoings. All right? It's like, man, I really want that cheesecake. I ate that cheesecake. All right? Or that banana pudding. Right? So this walking in love, ladies and gentlemen, it's a beautiful thing as you do it every single day. Right? But remember, I said love is God. So this is not something easy. God is not easily duplicatable. Right? I don't think he's ever been duplicatable. But it doesn't mean that we can't walk towards it every single day. Right? So I'm going to give you a challenge today. How are you going to express love? How are you going to give someone else the experience of feeling loved? All right? How are you going to give? Today. All right? Today. Choose a person, maybe someone in your family, maybe your spouse, maybe a leader that you're working with, right? Maybe your kids. And guess what? It could be a text message. Hey, I'm really proud of you. Really, really proud of you. Look at the great things you're doing. I'm really, really proud of you. You know, I was talking with my son, and he said, you know, he was really emotional because he said he felt that in order for him to live up to being my son, he had to go out and make millions of dollars. And I said, no. That is not going to be the telltale sign of, you know, if you're a great son or if you have my approval. No. It's how good of a person you are, you being a good father, being a good husband, being a good son, being a good brother. That's what's important. If you go out and make millions of dollars, that's completely up to you. You can go out and do that. You know, anybody can do that. All right? So you have to. It's okay. Today, I'm going to express. I'm going to express love to someone. Okay. And remember, when you express it, you're sowing that seed, and guess what? You're going to experience it as well. All right? Now, love and forgiveness. Right? Love and forgiveness. So, can't really say you love if you don't forgive. All right? All right? They kind of go hand in hand. Right? For God so loved the world that he gave. Right? And forgiveness is it's a challenge, right? It is, because sometimes, you know, people can be interesting and do things that test your ability to forgive. But there's a scripture that I read years ago. I still read it now, and it's all about believing. It breaks down the mechanics of believing. All right, it breaks it down. It says, whatsoever things ye desire, right? So whatever it is that I want, any desire that I have, the goals that I have, the dreams that I have, the things that I want to accomplish, whatever those things are, he said, when I pray and I open my mouth and I speak, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am, right? And I believe it, meaning that I see it, right? Because when you believe something, you're seeing it all the time, because you always believe what you see. That's why we have the signs. That's why we have the pictures and whatnot, right? He said, believe that you receive it, and receiving is what? Gratitude, right? Thank you. I receive it. I don't necessarily have it physically yet, but I've received it. All right. So it's believe that you receive it and you shall have it. So the having it is the physical aspect of receiving. So receiving is spiritual, having it is physical. I can't have it until I first received it. Now, all that is great. Now, all that has to do with believing. But check this out. The very next thing it says, and when you stand praying, forgive. When you stand praying, forgive. So you forgive so your Father can hear you. So the prayer, this I'm so happy and grateful now, if I'm in unforgiveness, it's literally a ceiling on where I can go. That's literally what it is. It's a ceiling on where I can go when I'm walking in unforgiveness. And I know, as I live my life on a daily basis, I know when I'm in unforgiveness, it shows up. It shows up in everything. And then I have to get back. So, okay, no, you forgave that, dude. Come on. All right. There's 7 rewards. I'm going to give this to you real quickly. 7 rewards of forgiveness. 7 things, 7 rewards that come into your life when you forgive. All right. Number 1, God forgives you. All right. He can't forgive you until you have forgiven. Right. If you look at the Lord's Prayer, it's part of it. All right. And people say, well, tell me how we should pray. And he laid it out. This is how you should pray. Forgive us as we forgive. So when you forgive, this is a reward that's given to you now, right? Because now God forgives you. That's the first reward. All right. Next one is it releases God's blessings. Because I told you, when you're in unforgiveness, there's a ceiling on where you can go. Every prayer that you're putting up there, there's now a wall that is lifted, that is removed when you are walking in forgiveness. It releases God's blessings in your life. All right? Here's another thing it does. It gives no access to the enemy. All right? Because access, that's really what he's looking for. He's looking for access in your mind. He's looking for access in your thoughts, keeping the wrongdoing. He's looking for access. He wants to change what you're thinking about. So if you're keeping the wrongs of the past and you're seeing people based on the wrongs of the past, guess what? You're not able to create the future that you desire. If you're only seeing your spouse for what they did a year ago, 5 years ago, and you're constantly holding that against them, guess what? You've given them access to your future because that's what you're thinking about today. Even though it happened last year, you're thinking about it today. And guess what? When you think about today, create your tomorrow. Okay? So when you forgive, the reward is it gives no access to the enemy. All right? What it also does, it creates a room for healing, not just for you, but also for the other person. All right? It creates room for healing. Because if you're holding on to unforgiveness, guess what? That person probably doesn't want to communicate with you. That person probably doesn't want to resolve that situation. But when your heart is, right, when you've moved from a place of unforgiveness and you're in a place of forgiveness, now you've created the room for healing. Now, will that healing take place? We don't know, but you have created the room for it. All right? These are 7 rewards, all right, of forgiveness. Next, it activates believing in your life. Whichever things you desire, when you pray, believe that you receive it. All right? So, and when you stand praying, guess what? Forgive. So, my ability to believe for great things, is really predicated on my ability to forgive. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? As you grow your business, as you grow your organization, and you work with more people, and it grows from 100 to 1,000 to 10,000 to 20,000 to 100,000 people, right? In my 17 years, I believe now it's now in excess of over 500,000 people that we've been able to build as an organization. You're going to have many opportunities, okay, to practice forgiveness. All right? Also gives you a clean heart. It's a reward of another reward of forgiveness. It's a clean heart towards that person. It's a clean heart for yourself. Okay? Also allows you to hear, allows God to hear you. All right? Because it clearly says that he can't hear you, right? If you don't forgive, then he can't hear you. So that means that if you're in forgiveness, guess what? It allows God to be able to hear you, your petitions and the things that you're saying, the things that you desire in that relationship, the things that you desire in your family, the things that you desire in your business, the things that you desire in your body, your health. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? There's now an open door, there's an open window. All right? So it allows God to actually hear you. All right? Those are 7 rewards, and this is going to be available. We're going to have the replay, so you guys can, if you missed it, you can go back and listen to the replay and get that. All right? Probably what I'll do is I'll just send it out in a text. That's what I'll do. When this call's over, I'll send out the 7 rewards of forgiveness in a text, so make sure you have that. Okay? But that scripture, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Whatsoever things you desire, when you pray, believe that you receive it, and you shall have it. And when you stand praying, forgive. So now that means that everything that I desire, the things that I want to accomplish, the things that I'm believing for, the things that I'm receiving, it hinges on my ability to forgive. So forgiving is really a gift to yourself. It's really a gift to yourself. And sometimes I was texting with Michelle, and she just wrote a book. It's going to be coming out, I believe it comes out in May or June. Checking in, and she talks about forgiveness in there. And sometimes you're not really sure if you've forgiven that person. Right? Have you ever been there? Or like, did I really forgive them? Because I still kind of look at them a funny way. You know? And I thought about this and I said, you know what? If you look at Adam and Eve, right? God forgave them, but the relationship changed. Right? I mean, the relationship completely changed. And that relationship was not mended until, thousands of years later when the second Adam came along? Right? So even when you forgive someone, it doesn't necessarily mean that that relationship will remain the same. But it really means, when you look at the definition of the word forgiveness, it really means when you forgive someone, you hold no more resentment. There's no more anger that you have towards that person. Okay? So, question for you. I gave you homework on the love side. I'm going to give you homework on the forgiveness side. And ask yourself, who do I still hold maybe just a little bit of anger towards, or maybe just a little bit of resentment towards? I resented how they treated me. All right? And it's almost like sometimes, can you really have ultimate healing or forgiveness if there's no communication with that person? Can you have that? Is it possible? So you say, well, David, should I go and like seek out that person and try and communicate with them? You know, I think that's a decision you got to make on your own. But I just know that forgiveness, when you truly forgive someone, there's no more anger and there's no more resentment. All right? So that means you can see that person and you can have a conversation with that person. You're not holding that. Remember, love doesn't keep no record of wrongdoings. Okay? You say, well, David, what if they're doing it over and over and over again? Well, that's what God says to you. All right? That's what he says to you. Imagine if God said that to you. You can keep doing the same thing over and over again. So how many times should I forgive? 70 times 7. Anybody want to do the math on that? That's what I tell you. Love is God, man. Love is serious. All right? 70 times 7. I'm going to do the math on that. What's that? What's 70 times 7? This is how many times you should forgive. 70 times 7. 490 times. Good luck. All right? This is what we can actually walk on, or work, or walk towards, or work towards every single day. Are you going to be perfect at it today after this call? No, you're not. But you got some information that now, okay, I can start working on this every single day. How can I show kindness every day? You know, how can I can ask God to remove that resentment, remove that anger that maybe I have towards that person because of what they did or what they didn't do or what they said or what they didn't say. All right? And guess what? Maybe it's you. Maybe it's you that needs that forgiveness. Maybe it's you that offended that person. All right? So maybe you may need to say, I'm sorry. All right? And saying I'm sorry doesn't make you less than. You know, that's actually power when you do that. That actually gives you the power. That actually gives you the control. You're the one that's seeking out the healing. You're the one that's creating the room for healing. Okay? Love and forgiveness. All right? I am going to be announcing on March the 4th. Guys, I'm so excited about this event. I'm so pumped up about it. We had a planning meeting for it. And the last one was incredible. I believe for this event, we've quadrupled the budget. We've literally quadrupled the budget for this event. We're talking world class. Everything is just off the chain. Okay. The price, ladies and gentlemen, $15.97 for this event. It's going to be worth every single penny. Every single penny. I can guarantee you that 1,000%. But I don't want you to come alone. Okay? This is a way for you to express your love for someone else by inviting them to come with you. Now, because of COVID restrictions and whatnot, the capacity that we have right now is 2,000. This event is going to sell out very, very quickly. You don't want to miss it. You're going to see the videos. You're going to see you're going to be like, man, I should have been there. So it's going to be July. All right, July the 16th, 17th, and 18th. All right, it's going to be in Orlando, Florida. So this is a place you can bring your family. They can go to Universal. They can go to Disney. All right, Friday night. We'll be giving out details of what's going to happen. But Friday is going to be absolutely incredible. We're going to have some world-class performance on Friday. And then Saturday is going to be really the I Believe Experience Day, where I'll be training pretty much that whole entire day on how you can take your belief system to the highest of highest levels, right? Because belief is unlimited. And then on Sunday, we're going to have some incredible leaders, world-class leaders, entrepreneurs, successful people in this world that are going to be there to give of their time and their expertise on Sunday. So I am so excited for you guys. I hope that this call moves something in your heart. Maybe there was some things that maybe you've kind of held on to, and maybe this call kind of helps you kind of let go of those things, or maybe you're going to make that phone call. Maybe you're going to say that prayer for God to remove that resentment or that anger that maybe you still feel right now. And every day let's start walking in love. Let's figure it out. Let's figure out a way to God and see how we can get even closer and closer and show that kindness and do good to others, even those that may not do good to you. All right. So I'm pumped up for you guys. I enjoyed this live. I really did. This is a different. You can put the mirror down now. I know you've been looking at yourself, and hopefully the mirror didn't crack already. But really excited that you were able to get this information, and I'll see you guys again March 4th. So I guess that'll be next week. I'll be live again, and I will be teaching another part of the pillar. There's 7 pillars that we really focus on here in Believe Nation. So I'll be teaching on that the next event. We've got an audio book coming out. We've got a few things coming out. We've got a book coming out really soon. We've got an audio coming out here really soon. When it does, we'll make sure we have it on Believe Nation Shop. Obviously the gear is off the chain. I got to do a photo shoot today. They say that I'm the best model for Believe Nation, so I have to do a photo shoot. But yeah, it's going to be off the chain. But you can go to BelieveNation.shop, get your gear. Saturday at the event is going to be Gear Day. All right, so everybody's going to be in Believe Nation gear. So make sure you've got your lion. That's the Lion of Trust, by the way. That's what he's called. It is going to be off the meat rack. All right, I'll see you guys next week, Thursday, March the 4th, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Take care, and God bless.
So as you're speaking these words, understand that you're activating that power. See, accepting it and then reconditioning is this process of saying it over and over and over. And then you start to see yourself there. And here's why it's so critical that you see yourself where you want to be. Because when you start to see yourself where you want to be, I promise you, other people will see you exactly how you see